plumbers go to school different amounts of time than we do. I'm mainly just focusing on electricians. Our apprentices attend school for 10 weeks each year for 4 years. They must have an employer sponsor, that's somebody that will start their apprenticeship. They don't have to stay and work for that person through the entire 4 years. Not like at one time where apprentices were indentured to an employer and they could basically be treated as slaves until at some point they became journeymen and then they went off on their own. Anyway, 1,500 hours per year plus one 10-week portion in the classroom makes up a year out of 4 years. So that at the end they will have worked 6,000 hours and 40 weeks of school. And assuming they pass their exams and so on, then they become journey persons.
It should be noted also that when they're working, they get paid. That,
yes.
You know, unlike certain other academic programs where you don't.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you have kids and they're interested in trades or something along those lines, it's possible for most people to become a certified journeyman or journeywoman, if you like, with no student loan debt. And some of them that work up in Fort McMurray and places like that are making tons of money.
So journeyman means you got your red seal?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And like right now with the employment climate up north, there's really a lot of work for tradespeople, and the money is big.
It's ridiculous.
So another way into the trades is to come and take one of our 24-week programs. We call it a trade entry program or the foundation program. And what the students get is 360 hours of hands-on training. They work on step ladders, they use tools, they do little mock-up wiring projects. So they do small versions of house wiring and commercial wiring. This is a commercial building. These lights, those pipes there, and the light switches and all that, the fire alarm, the smoke detectors or whatever we have here, all that's electrical work.
So they get 350 hours credit towards their apprenticeship hours.
And they also actually do that many hours of hands-on in the shops. So the foundation students, this practicum was originally developed with foundation students in mind. Because they're here for 24 weeks, it's easier for them to get away on a 2-week trip to Mexico than the 10-week students. But we have had our last trip, which most of these pictures are from, almost all of those, or no, about half of them were apprentices. So the other, if we have extra empty spaces, we limit it to 10 participants. So if we have extra spaces, we take the apprentices or as well. So I think the next one might be pictures, and Bruce is going to talk about all that stuff.
Am I?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is a picture of. Thanks, Dana.
Here.
This is a picture of. This is an install in Mexico. This apparatus is a charge controller, so it monitors the battery, it monitors the solar panel itself. So if the battery is all up and charged, it stops the current flowing from the solar panel into the battery because it's no longer needed to charge it. Technical details. This is a box that has the circuit breakers in it that protect the circuit. So these we install in every installation, which may be a home or it may be a clay tile, roof tile factory. We do, in that case, did a variety of installations, but basically if it's for a home, a ranchero, we would have one solar panel, one box that has the circuit breakers, one charge controller, one battery, and we put up to 6 lights, 12-volt lights in that typically would be a 12-volt compact fluorescent light. May not seem like much compared to what we have here. We're somewhat spoiled. But these are for people that have nothing. Yeah.
What size solar panels are put in?
90 watt.
Okay.
Yeah.
14 volt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have also mentioned, or we should mention, I think, that what we really do is we go into remote villages. We have a social worker down there that we employ who does the triage work, if you like, sheep finds. the good candidates for our project, families that could really benefit from, the solar panels and the lights and stuff. And then we go down there and we install for them.
So they get 6 lights, and I was just going to say, it doesn't seem like much, but it gets darker earlier down there. It's closer to the equator. So by the time it's 6:30, it's getting dark, and they have lights. The kids can do homework. And it has a remarkable effect on their ability to maybe get an education.
Is that the capacity light, if it's
Yeah.
lights and any other
No,
stuff they can?
no.
They can charge a cell phone or a laptop.
Well, we haven't really, we should do that, but we would like to put out have a little, like a cigarette lighter thing, 12 volt for charging a cell phone, because people seem to have cell phones.
Do you work in conjunction with any other larger aid agencies or
No.
part of a larger
No.
organization?
Originally, we did.
Humanity or-
Originally, we did work with a group called Esperanza. They were operating in Oaxaca, but they withdrew from Oaxaca. It wasn't working out for them. So it was caused us a bit of a dilemma, really, because we weren't sure what to do, because we had this umbrella group. And so we thought, I wonder if we could do this ourselves. So we went down, Dana and I went down just for a week and met with Bibiana, who's our social worker down there, and we thought, we can maybe do this ourselves. And in some ways, it's a little easier, to be honest with you.
It's way better.
Yeah.
It's way better without the NGO, but the NGO was really good to get started with and to get approvals around here, to get the, Uli's approval and the Dean's approval and stuff. The NGO was huge there. Yes?
When you're doing 12-volt battery systems like this, do you need electrical permits in Mexico? Or?
No. No, things are different down there. That's a very good point. And you'll see with some of the pictures, you'll see, like, this isn't exactly WorkSafe BC. But, you do what you can do, and you have to be part of their community and how their culture is operating and stuff like that. So permits, no. In fact, that would, well, I'm not even sure how that even works. Your brother's a contractor. Yeah, that type of thing. They don't have regulations like we have regulations. I don't think they have life insurance like we do either. And, it's different. And this is one of the things that our students gain from this is being in an environment where people are not protected in every way, shape, and form of their lives or regulated. It's different.
Yeah. We buy as much material locally as we can.
Down there.
The solar panels we buy locally, and the batteries and the charge controllers, and actually we buy almost everything, the wire, the nuts and bolts, all that stuff. So if they do, have a problem, a warranty issue or something, that stuff is bought local. Plus it's good for the economy and all the rest of that.
Now, before we proceed, I suppose not everyone necessarily knows where we actually operate. We could have had a map, but we don't. But it's in the state of Oaxaca, which is actually the poorest state in Mexico. It is also, Oaxaca has the southernmost point of North America. Mazunte is the community where the point is. People get married there. It's their tradition. So it is very poor. People don't use credit cards to any much extent down there, which is a bit of a problem for us sometimes, trying to pay for things, large items.
Trying to pay for it and then get reimbursed for it when we get back.
Yeah, well,
that's where the problem is.
Yeah.
Paying for it's not too bad. Oaxaca also has the highest percentage of indigenous Indians in Mexico.
Ethno.
Did I say that wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, ethnic groups?
Well,
Sorry.
ethnicities.
First
No, you
Nations
told us
people?
what. No.
No?
What did you say? What is it in Spanish?
Comunidades étnicas.
Ethnicas.
Could-
Sí, Ethnicas.
Did everybody get that?
Michael?
Ethnic
Yeah.
communities. They're not
Yeah.
called
I meant the
ethnic.
Spanish, Monica.
So the solar installations are done just at the individual residential level? There's no
Yeah.
community solar that goes to all?
No, not that we participate in. No.
Large systems would require lots of money and
Yeah.
and lots of time, and then they become potentially hazardous. You know,
It's far beyond our scope.
yeah.
Far beyond.
We're doing this with beginner students.
Yeah.
You're using, well, I guess the charge controller takes care of the inverter function as well.
We have
There's no inverter.
There's no inverter. just-
I was going to say that. We deliberately don't provide inverters for a couple of reasons. One, money. Another is we don't want people tempted to overtax the potential of our solar installation. I mean, 90 watts isn't that much. So
They
a
want
few
to run
lights,
televisions and
they
other
would run
things.
TVs if we allowed them to.
And
Why not?
refrigerators and stuff. Like these, there's no appliances in these homes. Mostly what they are is maybe 2/3 of this room would be the entire inside space, and there's beds in there and clothes hanging from the roof. And like there's Dahl, one of our students, this is a tin roof, you know, with some joists and strapping.
There's not much.
The
There'll be
houses,
a small kitchen.
they live outdoors. They cook outside, they bathe outside, they do everything outside. It's really a remarkable lifestyle. I think it's fantastic. I'm sure it's much healthier than what we do. So there's unfortunately Willis has his eyes closed here, but there's
He's not sleeping.
another look at the electrical. I've picked mainly work pictures, unfortunately, because we have such a nice crowd, but I didn't want you guys to see too many beach pictures or any of that stuff.
You get the wrong idea. Yeah, we take,
Especially today.
this is, we bring these boxes with us and the breakers, just because
We
I
can't
don't
get
even
them
know
down
if
there.
we can get them down there. So
Yeah.
yes.
Well,
Are the instructions that they have in there, are they in English or are they in Spanish?
They're in, well, those aren't instructions, actually.
Or like, no, but I mean, there's that, and there's like little comments on the labels on the other
That's on
boxes.
or off. That's all that is. It's, yeah.
Is it in English on it?
Yes.
Or-
Yeah, we got these from Victoria.
You would get animations.
Oh, would you?
Yeah.
even though some of that stuff is made in Mexico.
Yeah. So our work day would be, the van comes and collects us at our hotel in Puerto Escondido. And we go off to our work site and we work on our installation, and then the families feed us. So we eat with them every lunch, and it is fantastic food. Haven't had one person got sick from food in any of our trips that I'm aware of. And really good food, really wholesome, fresh, obviously, because we don't have refrigeration, right? And in here is, they call it agua, water, but it isn't water. It's agua de melon, or yeah, with fruit.
This is horchata, this one.
Horchata.
It's
Based on rice.
Right. Yeah.
rice milk with pecans and chunks of melon in it.
Cinnamon.
And cinnamon, yeah.
It's delicious.
It's a heavenly drink.
It really is.
Most of they have so many non-alcoholic drinks that are just, they're nutritious, they're refreshing and thirst quenching. It's really remarkable.
Jamaica is very common, and it's made out of hibiscus
Yeah.
flowers.
It's from Jamaica.
Originally?
Yeah.
That's
Really?
the word, yeah.
I didn't know that. Huh.
Yeah, that's how you spell it.
So, I don't know, they were calling it something like, oh, that's Jamaica. Oh, right. When it's Jamaica water, that comes from there.
Which is very healthful.
It's
And
cooked
thirst quenching is
hibiscus.
just amazing.
Yes.
We should have brought some.
How
So-
long does it take to do one house? to wire?
Well, the first one takes more than a day.
Mhm.
The last one takes under 2 hours.
You become
Yeah, I mean, that's another part of our
Sure.
project is building teamwork, working as a team, people understanding their roles and stuff like that. We get to be a mean fighting machine in the end. It's amazing, really.
Just on the last day, everything comes together.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So that's our driver at the end. We have a bus that, and he also served as an interpreter for us. This time we have a young woman who is Mexican coming with us.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's great. So she's fluent.
Well, we
and-
have 2 people that are fluent.
And another fellow that's,
That'll help a
yeah.
lot. Because the language barrier, I mean, it's good and bad, really, because in some respects, having a language barrier makes people get creative in their ability to communicate and stuff. So it's fun. I mean, they quite enjoy that. They soon, or very soon, learn pleases and thank yous in Spanish, which is very, you know.
And beer survey, so they
Yeah,
learn that
already
pretty
know
quick.
that one. They already know that one. But, so here's a slide of we take them on. Okay, part of our project
Mandate.
is to do the installations. Another part of it is to do cultural excursions. So we find out about what goes on in the place we're operating. And one of these excursions is a laguna called Jakawa. And it's a beautiful lagoon, just full of bird life and all kinds of mangroves. It's a mangrove lagoon. And we go to a crocodile preserve. And then at the end of this whole business, we go to the beach and swim, and it's just beautiful. There's very few. Have we seen any gringos out that way? Maybe a couple, but hardly anybody.
Not very many.
So we're kind of, you know, we're immersed. Yeah.
Yeah.
No gringos.
Sorry?
Oh, there's another
Oh,
word.
yes, we are.
Americans, yeah. that's-
No, there's no
Yeah.
differentiation down there. We're still.
There is another word for us, but I can't remember what it is.
That's not polite.
Guaritos?
Güeritos.
Guaritos?
You got a question?
No, just a comment.
Oh,
What
okay.
a fabulous project. And
Oh, thanks.
I'm just
Yeah.
thinking about their students have so many stories that they will never forget.
You know,
And
it's
just
so
the
true.
exposure
Yeah.
to another culture and another way of living. And what a fabulous job you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's kind of humbling at times. Like we had one student from the last trip. He's kind of a quiet Paul, great tall guy. Came to TRU specifically, even though he's from the Lower Mainland, he wanted to get out. He could have gone to BCIT to take electrical foundation. Chose to come to Kamloops to get out of the home and stuff like that. Came to Kamloops, met new people, decided, I'm going to go on this trip too. Came on the trip. On the way back, I sat with him on the plane. He said, you know, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. And I said, Paul, you're kidding, right? Exaggerating, right? He says, no, I'm not. I'm serious. I go, holy man. I mean, you don't know the impact it can have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Some of them talk about, you know, how they have a really deep level shift in priorities after this experience, like calling it a transformative experience or thinking of it that way, where now they're interested in aid work and they're interested in seeing the world and becoming a citizen of the world rather than, you know, we have in the West here, if we grow up in the West and we're used to, you know, big fancy pickup trucks and all that stuff, and we get certain mindsets that are hard to break sometimes, and a trip like this can just blow open their eyes. And so some of the feedback we get is very powerful. So I chose this picture because you can see the walls of the house, the sun is shining through. They're just split bamboo and sticks, basically. That's the wall of the house. And inside the house is, you know,
Beds
with chickens on them sometimes and stuff.
Did you have any of those pictures there?
I have the
The
entire slideshow on the flash drive. Bruce gave me this slideshow that I pulled these pictures from. There's about, 75 pictures in it, and I thought it was too many, but it's all here if people want to see them.
Are your panels mostly round mounted, or do you really?
No, that's a good point. We arranged for them to build a concrete platform, so we keep it up high, off the ground. So.
Yeah. Or if they have a flat cement roof, which
Right.
some of them do, then we put it on the roof. To keep it away from the kids and vandalism and that sort of
What
thing.
angle do you typically put it at, 35?
In
Somewhere
that range, yeah.
Facing south, yeah.
It's, all that stuff's available on the internet. I wasn't able to crop these pictures because they're part of a slideshow, at least I think that's why. But there's Willis with the first light on. This is split bamboo, and you can see the clay tiles.
And these clay tiles likely came from the place where we did installations, which is a place called
Agua Zarca.
Zarca. And it's a cooperative where people get together and the dirt is perfect for making the clay tiles. And they've probably been doing it, likely been making stuff from that clay for more than 1,000 years, I would suspect. It's perfect, it's just the right consistency water-wise. They form the tiles, lay them out in the sun, and then they build a kiln out of other tiles, and fuel the fire to cook them with coconut husks.
A
It's just
one-ton
amazing.
truck full of coconut shells will do
Yeah,
a kiln.
they
They also make bricks. They put 7,000 bricks in, like they build the kiln out of the bricks that they're firing. And then they build the fire inside
There's pictures
of the kiln on the slideshow, but not here.
Okay. So, next time. Yeah.
We've only got-
I digress.
Next time.
Yeah, I digress. So this is kind of, this is not an IV. Well, it is in a way. This is a generator, but the fuel tank rusted. So this is a pop can with gas in it, and it's gravity fit to the generator. You make do. You see, that's another thing that they get to experience is the, well, you know, we can't just go up to Walmart and buy something. We got to make do with what we have. Very inventive and creative.
Yeah, super creative.
Do you have any pictures of Amy?
Yeah, but I don't know. This is the last one that I put in here.
Damn.
But
Oh, Bidby.
I can exit to the slideshow and there's pictures
We
there
could, you know,
if you
'cause-
want.
So
This is a swimming hole.
Yeah, we took the students up to this waterfall. I can't remember its name. It's just stunning, beautiful, clear, clean water. And the locals found it cold, but we thought it was just perfect.
I see a 20 kilowatt hydro project there.
Yeah, that would be a shame, actually, Michael, because it's so pristine and beautiful.
How do we get out of this in show? Okay, so
I have to find Bibby.
I'm just asking because I've kind of developed a relationship with her.
Yeah, well, you have to come.
I've
down.
got to, and I've got to bring students.
Yes, you
Now,
do.
I'm so glad I came because I'm having all these ideas of how I
I
could
know,
bring sociology
I know.
students to this kind
Oh, I know.
of trip for a research
let's
project,
see.
even doing research on the electricians themselves.
No, absolutely. And our students, I've thought of that, honestly. Study the students before or after, you know. I can see, I mean, that's one of our, Dana and my ambition is to include more of TRU.
No, yeah.
And why not? You know, there's possibilities are endless. Tom Dickinson is interested in science.
Baldwin too, right?
Yeah, but again, it's not easy
Yeah.
to kind of fit it into, you know, whatever program you're working on.
Now you're talking.
There's Paul. Hang on. That's
There's Bibi.
Bibi. She's our social work. She's our
she's our
Yeah.
patrona.
she's the boss. You don't
She
monkey.
doesn't speak English.
Yeah, she doesn't speak English.
Well, I got involved in this project basically because of the possibility of a sociology field school. And we started talking about it, and then you you basically stopped working with Esperanza, the original NGO, and they said, well, we're going to have a go at it ourselves. And Bibi was the one, but
Yeah.
Bibi doesn't speak English. so
She
that's
used to
how
work
they-
for Esperanza, and then she
Yeah.
lost her job.
Mhm.
So,
So she was very happy that there would be a job there. Because
but we needed to be able to communicate what we wanted, and of course, Monica was just absolutely wonderful. And
Yeah, and I came in and basically did all the translation. I'm not a translator, so I'm sometimes talking in Spanish to the guys and then.
yeah, in English to her. It's actually really common.
They're just laughing, but it works. And
Yeah. Bibi, and she looks after us, and if she thinks something's going sideways, she goes right, like one of our suppliers, this is 2 trips ago, or 3,
Yeah.
Bibi thought that the person was trying to cheat us. She was going after her. I said, no, Bibi, it's okay, it's okay.
So you did 1 year with Esperanza or 2 years with Esperanza?
We did 2.
2 trips, yeah. The
And
first
so
one and the
you're doing
second
your-
one.
So now you're doing your second trip on your own?
Yes.
Is this your second?
No, this is,
Here we go.
Oh, sorry.
there's no way. We did 2 trips a year for 2 years. And this has got to be the 5th one at least. It seems like it's about.
No, it's our 5th
Seems
trip.
like it's about the 8th one to
It's our
me.
5th trip. It's our 5th trip. We did this, I didn't go on the very first one, I went on the second one, which Alex, that we put in the Castillo, remember?
Yeah.
And that was the last of Esperanza. And then the next one was with Bibi, and then we did it again, because Allie came in the first one after Esperanza, and then she came again. So this will be our third one.
Oh.
Our fifth, this is our fifth trip, yes. It is our fifth trip.
Is it 1 p.m.?
It's, no.
It's 12.
Oh, okay. So
Um,
can you talk about any pre and post stuff you do? Like how do you prep the students for it?
Oh,
and
that's a
how-
good thing. We have to, in order to be under the umbrella of TRU in any way, shape, or form, the students have to take a cultural sensitivity seminar. They have to take, what's the one they had the other day, Dana, called?
Risk management.
Risk management, where they, basically talk about all the bad things that happen on any of these field schools or practicums involve alcohol. Okay, so we have to have the conversation with them. They have to understand. They have to understand that so we have meetings, little impromptu meetings with them, Dana and I, and talk about, we're working as a team, there's the buddy system, you don't go out alone, you don't do this, you don't do that, you dress modestly, etc. Respect the other culture. Behave as if you're an ambassador for TRU and Canada, right? So.
They have to assign a bunch
Yeah.
of behavior stuff that the lawyers have produced in conjunction with the risk management
Yeah.
people,
And then
TRU World.
And then
so on.
when we return, there's a debriefing where Carrie Russell and her troupe, they talk to them and basically interview them. Oh, so this is making the tiles. This is Dahl. He's trying so hard because this is the little form right here. So they put the clay over the form, and then you have to get the form out again so it can dry. Well, he couldn't get it. And then the guy was showing, oh, it's easy. Look. He goes,
They literally dig up the ground they're standing on. This is in a swamp area, and for part of the year, it's dry. The water level is down. So by hand, they dig up the top 3 feet. It's almost pure clay, and they mix it like you would mix cement with water and a little bit of some lime, I think, or something, maybe.
I don't think so. I don't think there's lime.
No, maybe not
Sand, a
lime,
little
but
bit,
sand
yeah.
maybe. And then they, by hand, one tile at a time, they form these tiles. And they also, you saw a bunch of pictures of the bricks a few slides back. They do the same thing. They get 3 cents a brick. It's extraordinarily laborious work. And these kids were like making 1 tile each or one,
Well, they're
and
not
it just
kids.
opens their eyes to think,
Oh,
you
our
know,
kids, yeah. Our
sorry, I
students, yeah.
I shouldn't do that. I know there's students in the room and stuff.
It's condescending.
It's not, no, certainly not my intention. Bruce has got my back. He's always in full support.
Are you sure you
But-
guys want to travel?
Oh, we do this all the time. It's awesome.
Anyway, it's just one more of the, like a little thing like this that you don't really plan or expect can be one of the biggest events of, as far as the impact on the students. To
And
see, like these guys work so hard, it's just unbelievable. I
Is that
couldn't.
planned to help them with the brick or just?
No.
No, none of this was planned.
No.
We're just there putting in a solar panel for these outdoor work sites. Before, these guys could only work 12 hours a day. Now they can work 24 hours a day. This is what we brought to them, right?
Yeah, this is what it's come to.
Poor bastards.
But this was the our clients, as you were. It was their idea to allow our students to try to make these, and it was really cool. And then, unbeknownst to us, as we were leaving at the airport, they presented us with a tile each. One of these that was finished with a Zarco on it.
A little smaller
2014.
version.
Yeah, but it unfortunately the weight. Then we go, oh, it's the weight so much. I wonder if we're gonna. We didn't have any problem, but it was touching, you know. Just a little thank you.
There's a picture of Willis.
And your students train the people who have the solar panels to maintain them and that
Well,
sort of thing?
I wouldn't say train.
We educate them as much as we can about the systems. They are pretty much maintenance free, but you know, nothing works perfectly forever. This is the brick kiln. But yeah, they do that, Ginny. The brick kiln, 7,000 bricks, load of coconut husks. And after 2 days, apparently it gets up to like 2,000 degrees Celsius or some crazy number like that. And after 2 days, the bricks are red.
So they take this all down, take it all apart, and pack up the bricks off to market, and then put the new batch in and build another kiln.
It's quite amazing to watch them build these
It's an
kilns
inferno.
too.
I mean, it's quite spectacular.
The whole thing is, you know, really quite amazing. There's our waterfall. What just happened there? That got a lot bigger. I clicked on the wrong thing, didn't I?
Just go down there to the pictures at the bottom.
Here?
No, bottom. There. Right there. No, down.
I know, it can't be Bruce. He would know what to do.
I don't know. I was just listening.
Make that big and just let it roll.
Let it make it big? Okay. Yeah, it should go up by itself, shouldn't it? If this was my Mac, I'd know what to do. It'd just run by itself.
So this is, yeah, they're dismantling this kiln.
There's so many pictures here. I don't want to bore you with all of them.
So is that one of those electrical panels you put with the?
Yeah, this is at the tile factory, and they wanted them put in here, and they made a concrete lid on there to make it difficult for thieves to come in. There are thieves, so that's all in there. Go
You wanna go back?
Yeah. So that's Don Emilio,
Oh, yeah.
and he's
Another
we
one
hired
of our
him as well,
employees.
and he's got a pickup truck. He's a great guy, and he doesn't speak any English at all. Yes.
Just wondering whether you guys or your students write about the experience while you're there.
We get them to write something when they come back as the impact it has on them. We haven't processed that yet. We really should.
True World does a debrief session with them. Did you want to come and write while you're there? Is that what you had in mind? Or?
Well, I mean,
No, it's just from day to day, it's such, as you say, transformative learning, and to capture how students writing and then come back and read what they were going through at that particular time.
I think it would be
an
brilliant.
interesting
It would be
Yeah.
brilliant. Unfortunately, a lot of them are quite reluctant in terms of English. Our students, they don't write too good, a lot of them. And honestly, and so they're intimidated by the whole thing.
Well, you can't say that. This gal here has a master's degree in chemistry.
No, I don't mean all of them. I
But,
just some of them, yeah. Like Allie was, for instance, Dana, Allie was really reluctant to write anything.
I know.
She thinks she can't write well enough.
Well, because it's emotional and
It
it's
is.
revealing, and they don't know where it's going to go. Once they give it to us, they might hear it on CBC the next day or something, and go, "What the
Or on
hell?"
Oprah.
Yeah, there you go.
I think
Um,
Emma and I
Good.
need to get involved here, right, Anna?
We do, yeah.
But it would just be for them. You don't have to read any of it. It's their own
Yeah.
process.
Oh,
Yeah.
have a little
When
diary,
they come
a
back
journal.
to, in that deep.
We encourage them to journal.
Specific kinds of questions that could help them to articulate their
Yeah.
experience.
Kylie had a question.
I was just wondering if you guys had to go through like any ethical approval processes.
Ethical?
Through yeah, like through the ethical.
No, I haven't heard that word used yet.
What ethical
Ethics,
rules have
GRU,
we
what?
broken?
Oh, I was
That's
just wondering
really-
just because it is such an emotional process for the students. I was just wondering
I think it's
if
only-
They did research.
Oh, did they? Yeah, I was just wondering if.
Yeah, if, for example, if I bring students and do research on
Yeah.
the experiences and their own experiences, then you have to go through the research, and it's reviewed totally.
To give you an idea, Kylie, of how that worked, Pam and I were involved, as you know, in the homeless play this summer. And any research that we or anyone else did on the play had to go through research ethics. But the whole process of the theater faculty working with the formerly homeless people who acted in the play didn't require any research ethics or approval.
Do you want to see if maybe a couple of your students would be willing to have Leon or someone film that DVD piece with Carrie this year? Again, I'm thinking undergraduate conference. I have approached you the last couple of years. I know your students are gone and employed by the time the conference happens, but some way to capture some of the voices and pieces, maybe Kylie can help share.
That would be
Some way to
absolutely,
bring some of that together to
you know,
share beyond.
I mean, you never really know
If
what,
they're comfortable.
if they are, but
In their head, that's-
I think it's a great idea personally.
Born.
I
that's
teach
it.
a new course in the winter on renewable energy. Solar is a big module of it. I'd be delighted if you and maybe some of your students could come to talk about your experiences too. That might be another way of spreading it over to other departments and faculty.
Great, that would be, absolutely. Now, keep in mind, they're not, like the ones from my class are leaving at the end of January. So in the new year, absolutely, that would be good. I think they would enjoy that.
Yeah, the more thank you, that we can do, the better life expectancy is for this project.
We have fantasies in that regard, honestly. We spend a lot of time together, as you probably figured out. But we talk about who else we could involve. Oh, this would be great for this or great for that. For instance, there's a turtle sanctuary, sort of zoo, or I don't know, it's a zoo. What is it?
It's an aquarium and stuff.
The project that's being developed little by little as they get funding and stuff like that. But we thought, wow, we could have all kinds of different people from science maybe in there, people providing good water, clean water. That Stu comes into mind for that.
Also, there's a beach. Well, some of you saw the little baby turtle pictures and stuff. There's a beach where we may end up doing a couple of houses at Escobilla. That's that email I sent you the other day. They have 1 million turtle nests per year on this beach, and the adults are about this big. Can't remember the species, amazing. But it's truly exciting.
Am I excited about something else? Because I'm glad to hear that you're interested in expanding this. Part 2 of a field school option here. I just started up a new nonprofit society in BC that deals specifically with solar photovoltaics to provide the people in the community. Focus right now is on a little island called Gabriel Island here in Nanaimo. We're at the summer home. And it's to help people set up solar grid-tied systems at cost. And we've already set up several 10 kilowatt systems and we're building a solar farm this spring and summer, which will be a cooperative. And students in trades and other disciplines may be interested in all kinds of facets of that. We need students in the policy area, for example, or sociology, who can help with the development of the co-op and all the rules and regulations and the structure of it. We need obviously trade students who may want to help out and install. We've got people that can be involved with community planning and planners, those who might want to work with fundraising and other kinds of communication. I mean, there's an opportunity here if we wanted to go in that direction.
So in a way, similar to this, only local.
Local, but also grid tied. So
yeah.
your trade students are going to learn how to do DC and AC systems.
Yeah.
No, I asked Dina not to move ahead of this slide because I just wanted to mention something about. So at the end of our, like we would do, say, 4 houses for a group of people that are relatively close together. And then at the end we had what's called a convivial. And this is an example of that. So they took us out, we went out to the beach with the families, and they fed us and swam and stuff like that. Then we sat in a circle, and every single person there, them and us, by use of an interpreter, spoke about what the experience meant to us. And it's just the most remarkably emotional experience. Absolutely. The tears were flowing. And poor Allie, she ended up being last. She couldn't even do it. She was just absolutely cracked up with emotion at the end. It's hard to even fathom why. But it's, I don't know, have you thought about that?
Oh yes, absolutely. Why? The very first time that we did one of these, I was crying like a baby. I don't cry so much anymore, but it's a feel-good experience to go and be in service. So this is where the service learning thing comes. Go and be in service to other people where there's no money involved. Our culture is so driven by money. So you take that out of the equation, and to help them in a meaningful way is very uplifting. And particularly, I think for us, as coming from a rich culture where we live a luxurious lifestyle, you don't see any padded furniture in these homes or any of that stuff. To to give to people who have nothing is, you know, it's the opposite of what we do here. I mean, we might give somebody some change downtown, you know, that's asking for a handout, but I mean, to really give to somebody in a way where you get to know them and you're giving them a hug and stuff. When I give change to the people downtown, I don't want a hug. You know what I mean? That was probably a politically incorrect thing to say, but
Keep going, Dana. But it wasn't just us. It was them as well. It was just this wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful.
It's a mountaintop experience.
The heartfelt message from them is we're welcome to stay at their house anytime.
this is where we had our feast. They brought us to this place. I mean, it was down a sandy track about, I don't know, a few kilometers with many turns and intersections and stuff, and there was absolutely no one in sight and just spectacular beaches. And yeah, there's Bibi. She's like
somewhat pregnant.
Gonna have a baby in like 2 weeks or something, and she's traipsing all over the world with us. There's a group shot.
So,
Oh, there's inside the house, me and Dal.
it's
Chickens.
typical little ranchero. Dana, I think we have to kind of
Yeah, we're
wrap
done,
it
eh?
up because I
So we're
got.
gonna
Do we have to give up the room?
Part two, I'll be in touch right after we get back from Mexico.
Thank you.
Thank you both.